Good morning, students. Our subject is wastewater management. We are in sixth unit. Our present topic is manufacturing process and origin, characteristics, effects, and treatment methods of dairy industries. Guys, here the composition of milk in dairy industry. Sound, sound. In composition of milk. Here, guys, actually, so guys, here dairy technology and the treatment of dairy processing wastewaters. So, guys, the regarding this, the composition of milk. An approximate composition of milk can be given as 87.3% water, range of 85 to 5% to 88.7%. 3.9% milk shaft, range of 2.4% to 5.5% milk fat. So 8.8% solids, not fat, range of 7.9 to 10.0. Protein 3.25%, 3 by 4 casein, and lactose 4.6%. Minerals 0.65%, calcium, phosphorus, citrate, magnesium, potassium, sodium, zinc, chloride, ferrous, copper, and sulfate, bicarbonate, many others. Acids 0.18%, citrate, formate, acetate, lactate and oxalate, enzymes, peroxidase, catalase, and phosphates and lipase, gases, oxygen, nitrogen, vitamins A, C, D, thiamine, riboflavin, and others. So, guys, the following terms are used to describe milk fractions. Plasma, that is equal to milk minus fat, that is the skim milk, and the serum, plasma minus casein, micelles, whey, and the solids, not fat, SNF, proteins, lactose, minerals, acids, enzymes, and vitamins. Total milk solids, fat plus SNF. Density, the density of milk and milk products is used for the following: to convert volume into mass and vice versa, to estimate the solids content, to calculate other physical properties, example kinematic viscosity, density, the masses of certain quantity of material divided by its volume is dependent on the following: temperature at the time of measurement, the temperature history of the material, composition of the material, especially the fat content, inclusion of air, a complication with more viscous products. With all of this in mind, the density of milk varies within the range of 1027 to 1033 kg meters cube at 20 degrees centigrade. Microorganisms in milk. Milk is sterile at secretion in the udder, but it's contaminated by bacteria even before it leaves the udder. Lactic acid bacteria, this group of bacteria are able to ferment lactose to lactic acid. They are normally present in the milk and are also used as starter cultures in the production of cultured dairy products such as yogurt. Examples include lactose, that is delbrucyl subspecial lactase, streptococcus lactase, and lactocose and lactase Cyramoris, and Streptococcus creamers. Lactobacillus, Lactobacillus casei, Delbrueckii subspecial, and lactis, L. lactis. Here, L. Delbrueckii subspecial and Bulgarius Lactobacillus and Bulgaricus Leuconostoc. Guys, here terminology is different, but just you heard about, but you need not by heart this. Coliforms. Here, focal to anaerobes with an optimum growth at 37 degrees centigrade, indicator organisms. They are closely associated with the presence of pathogens, but not necessarily pathogenic themselves. They also can cause a rapid spoilage of milk as they are able to permeate lactose with the production of acid and gas and are able to degrade milk proteins. They are liked by HDST treatment. Therefore, their presence after treatment is indicative of contamination. Here, Escherichia coli is an example belonging to this group. Significance of microorganisms in milk. Information on the microbial content of milk can be used to judge its sanitary quality and the conditions of production. If permitted to multiply, bacteria in milk can cause spoilage of the product. Milk is potentially susceptible to contamination with the pathogenic microorganisms. Precautions must be taken to minimize this possibility and to destroy pathogens that may gain entrance. Certain microorganisms produce chemical changes that are desirable in the production of dairy products such as cheese, yogurt. Spoilage microorganisms in milk. Spoilage is a term used to describe the deterioration of a food's texture, color, odor, or flavor to the point where it is unsuitable for human consumption. Microbial spoilage of food often involves the degradation of protein, carbohydrates, and fats by the microorganisms or their enzymes. In milk, the microorganisms that are principally involved in spoilage are psychotropic organisms. Most psychotropes are destroyed by pasteurization temperatures. However, some like Pseudomonas fluorescens, Pseudomonas fragi can produce proteolytic and lipolytic extracellular enzymes which are heat stable and capable of causing spoilage. Some species and strains of Bacillus Clostridium and Corynebacterium, Arthropobacter, Lactobacillus, Microbacterium, Micrococcus, and Streptococcus can survive pasteurization and grow at refrigeration temperatures, which can cause spoilage problems. Pathogenic microorganisms in milk. There have been a number of foodborne illnesses resulting from the ingestion of raw milk or dairy products made with milk that was not properly pasteurized or was poorly handled, causing post-processing contamination. The following bacterial pathogens are still of concern today in raw milk and other dairy products. Bacillus cereus and Listeria monocytogenesis and Escherichia enterocolitica and Salmonella sep and Escherichia coli and Campylobacter jejuni. And it should also be noted that molds mainly of species of Aspergillus, Fusarium, and Penicillium can grow in milk and dairy products if the conditions permit. These molds may produce mycotoxins, which can be a health hazard. Starter cultures. Starter cultures are those microorganisms that are used in production of cultured dairy products such as yogurt and cheese. Commercial manufacturers provide starter cultures in lipophyllite and freeze-dried, frozen or spray-dried forms. It is needed to inculate the culture into milk or other suitable substrates. There are a number of steps necessary for the propagation of starter culture ready for production. Numerical culture, mother culture, first inoculation, all cultures will originate from this preparation. Intermediate culture in preparation of larger volumes of prepared starter. Bulk starter culture, this stage is used in dairy product production. Dairy processing, clarification and cream separation, pasteurization, UHT treatment, homogenization of milk and milk products, membrane processing, evaporation and dehydration, production and utilization of steam and refrigeration, clarification and cream separation, centrifugation. Centrifugal separation is a process used quite often in the dairy industry. Some uses include clarification, removal of solid impurities from milk prior to pasteurization. Skimming, it means separation of cream from skim milk. Standardizing, whey separation, separation of whey cream or fat from whey. Bacteriophage treatment, separation of bacteria from milk. Quark separation, separation of quark and from whey. Butter oil purification, separation of serum phase from anhydrous milk fat. If raw milk were allowed to stand, the fat globules would begin to rise to the surface in a phenomena called creaming. Raw milk in a rotating container has centrifugal forces acting on it. This allows rapid separation of milk fat from the skim milk protein and the removal of solid impurities from the milk. Separation. Centrifuges can be used to separate the cream from the skim milk. The centrifuge consists of up to 120 discs stacked together at a 45 to 60-degree angle and separated by a 0.4 to 2.4 mm gap or separation channel. Milk is introduced at the outer edge of the disc stack. The stack of discs has vertically aligned distribution holes into which the milk is introduced. Under the influence of centrifugal force, the fat globulous cream, which are less dense than the skim milk, move inwards through the separation channels toward the axis of rotation. The skim milk will move outwards and leaves through a separate outlet. Standardization. The stream of skim and cream after separation must be recombined to a specified fat content. This can be done by adjusting the uh, throttling valve of the cream outlet. If the valve is completely closed, all milk will be discharged through the skim milk outlet. As the valve is progressively opened, larger amounts of cream with diminishing fat contents are discharged from the cream outlet. With a direct standardization, the cream and skim are automatically remixed at the separator to provide the desired fat content. Pasteurization. The process of pasteurization was named after Louis Pasteur, who discovered that spoilage organisms could be inactivated in wine by applying heat at temperatures below its boiling point. The process was later applied to milk and remains the most important operation in the processing of milk. Definition: the heating of every particle of milk or milk product to a specific temperature for a specified period of time without allowing recontamination of that milk or milk product during the heat treatment process. Pasteurization regulations: milk 63 degrees centigrade for not less than 30 minutes, 72 degrees centigrade for not less than 16 seconds, or equivalent destruction of pathogens and enzymes. Phosphates as permitted. Milk is deemed pasteurization if it's a test negative for alkaline phosphates. Frozen dairy dessert mix, ice cream or ice milk at least 69 degrees centigrade for not less than 30 minutes, at least 80 degrees centigrade for not less than 25 seconds. Other time temperature combinations must be approved. Example, 83 degrees centigrade of 16 seconds. Milk-based products with 10% of milk fat or higher or added sugar, cream, chocolate milk, etc. 66 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes, 75 degrees centigrade for 16 seconds. Thermal destruction of microorganisms. Thermal destruction process such as pasteurization, the rate of destruction is logarithmic as is their rate of growth. Thus, bacteria subjected to heat are killed at a rate that is proportional to the number of organisms present. The process is dependent both on the temperature of exposure and the time required at this temperature to accomplish to desired rate of destruction. Milk pasteurization historically was based on Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Coxella burrell. Certain parameters. The D value is a measure of the heat resistance of a microorganism. It is the time in minutes at a given temperature required to destroy one log a cycle 90% of the target microorganism. The Z value reflects the temperature dependence of the reaction. It is defined as the temperature change required to change the D value by a factor of 10. Z degree centigrade, D1 21 minutes, bacteria 5 to 10 and 1 to 5, enzymes 30 to 40 plus 1 to 5, vitamins 20 to 25, 150 to 200, and pigments 40 to 70, 15 to 50. Due to the differences in Z values, it is apparent that at higher temperatures of shorter times, a region exists shaded area where pathogens can be destroyed while vitamins can be maintained. Thus, in milk processing, the higher temperature, shorter time HTST process 72 degrees centigrade for 16 seconds is favored compared to a lower temperature, longer time. Batch or wet process since it results in slightly lower loss of vitamins and better sensory quality. Methods of pasteurization: batch method. The batch method uses a vast pasteurizer which consists of a jacketed vat surrounded by either circulating water stream or heating coils of water or steam. In the vat, the milk is heated and held throughout the holding period while being agitated. The milk may be cooled in the vat or removed hot after the holding time is completed for every particle. As a modification, the milk may be partially heated in tubular or plate heater before entering the vat. This method has very little use for milk, but some use for milk by products, example, creams, chocolate, and special batches. The vat is used extensively in the ice cream industry for mixed quality reasons other than microbial reasons. continuous method. For most continuous processing, a high temperature short time pasteurizer is used. The heat treatment is accomplished using a plate heat exchanger. This piece of equipment consists of a stack of corrugated stainless steel plates clamped together in a frame. There are several flow patterns that can be used. Gaskets are used to define the boundaries of the channels and to prevent leakage. The heating medium can be vacuum stream or hot water. HDST milk's flow overview. Cold raw milk at 4 degrees centigrade in a constant level tank is drawn into the regenerator section of pasteurizer. Here it is warmed to approximately 57 degrees centigrade to 68 degrees centigrade by heat given up by hot pasteurized milk flowing in a counter current direction on the opposite side of thin stainless steel plates. The raw milk, still under suction, passes through a positive displacement timing pump which delivers it under positive pressure through the rest of the HDST system. The raw milk is forced through the heater section where hot water on opposite sides of the plates heat milk to a temperature of at least 72 degrees centigrade. The milk at pasteurization temperatures and under pressure flows through the holding tube where it is held for at least 16 seconds. These are the diagrams, guys. So here the maximum velocity is governed by the speed of the timing pump, diameter and length of the holding tube and surface friction. After passing temperature sensors of an indicating thermometer and a recorder controller at the end of the holding tube, milk passes into the flow diversion device FDD. The FDD assumes a forward flow position if the milk passes the recorder controller at the preset cut in temperature. The FDD remains in normal position, which is in diverted flow if milk has not achieved preset cut in temperature. The improperly heated milk flows through the deviated flow line of the FDD back to the raw milk constant level tank. Properly heated milk flows through the forwarded flow part of the FDD to the pasteurized milk regenerator section where it gives up a heat to the raw product and in turn is cooled to approximately 32 degrees centigrade to 9 degrees centigrade. The warm milk passes through the cooling section where it is cooled to 4 degrees centigrade or below by coolant on the opposite sides of the thin stainless steel plates. The cold pasteurized milk passes through a vacuum breaker at least 12 inches above the highest raw milk in the HDST system, then onto a storage tank filler for packaging. The basis of UHT or ultra high temperature is the sterilization of food before packaging, then filling into uh, sterilizer containers in a sterile atmosphere. Milk that is processed in this way using temperatures exceeding 135 degrees centigrade permits a decrease in the necessary holding time to 2 to 5 seconds, enabling a continuous flow operation. Some examples of food products produced with UHT are liquid products, milk, juices, cream, yogurt, wine, salad dressings. Foods with discrete particles, baby foods, tomato products, fruits and vegetables, juices, soups. larger particles states. Advantages of UHD. Excuse me, guys, just wait. UHD methods. So guys, here advantages of UHD simply high quality and difficulties with UHD. And here UHD methods, direct heating system, injection and infusion. This is the flow diagram for tabular sterilizer. This is the flow diagram for steam infusion sterilizer. So guys, this is the important one thing. Yes, membrane processing. Membrane processing is a technique that permits concentration and separation without the use of it. Particles are separated on the basis of their molecular size and shape with the use of pressure and specially designed semi-permeable membranes. But here, guys, characteristics and the sources of wastewater, processing waters, which include water used in the cooling and heating process. These effluents are normally free of pollutants and can, with a minimum treatment, be reused or just discharged into the storm water system, generally used for rain runoff water. Cleaning wastewaters eminent mainly from the cleaning of equipment that has been in contact with the milk or milk products, spillage of milk and milk products, why pressings and brines, CIP cleaning options, and waters resulting from equipment malfunctions and even operational errors. This wastewater stream may contain anything from milk, cheese, whey, cream, separator, and clarifier dairy waters to dilute yogurt, starter culture, and dilute fruit and stabilizing compounds. Sanitary wastewater, which is normally piped directly to a sewage works. Treatment options. The strength of dairy waste is expressed in different terms. BOD, biological oxygen demand. Biological or biochemical oxygen demand is the quantity of oxygen in milligram consumed by biological agents in a sample of waste incubated over a period of 5 days at 20 OC, expressed as a milligram biological oxygen demand per liter or ppm, parts per million, parts per million BOD. The value indicates the organic matter content in the waste. COD, chemical oxygen demand. Chemical oxygen demand is the quantity of oxygen in milligram O2 or ppm which is necessary for the chemical oxidation of organic substances in the presence of potassium dichloramate and silver sulfate as catalyst. It includes oxygen. It includes oxygen utilized for oxidation of compounds that is not utilized by microorganisms. TOC. Total organic carbon content. Total organic carbon content. That is amount of organic carbon content per liter of waste expressed as milligram per liter. The strength of dairy waste, that is biological oxygen demand, varies from 300 to 2000 milligrams liter, depending upon type of product made and quantity of milk processed. Mechanical methods. These are screening using severe, filtration using filter, sedimentation, allowing for gravity sedimentation, flotation, aided by gas bubbles to which the particles of impurities become attached and removed. Reverse osmosis would also remove dissolved constituents, but it is not suitable in large scale. Chemical methods consist of precipitation of dissolved substances by means of suitable precipitating agents such as iron sulfate, iron chloride, aluminum sulfate. A sedimentable coagulum is formed which also contains suspended solids. The formed coagulum may be removed by using any mechanical methods. Biological methods. These methods are most suitable methods. Dissolved or colloidally suspended organic compounds are decomposed by oxidation with the aid of aerobic or anaerobic microorganisms. Dairy wastes are normally treated by conventional methods, that is activated sludge method, trickling filters. Low cost treatment methods, example aerated lagoons, stabilization pond, oxidization ditch, and anaerobic methods, example septic tank method. So anyway, thank you guys all of you for listening my class. Thank you very much.